Hey guys, so in this video I want to talk about the entire philosophy, the entire approach to transforming your life through your workouts, through your physical practice. So when we look at transforming our life, let's start from the basics, and I'm going to connect the dots here. Just so you know, this video is to get the full picture of how it works. So this way you understand why it's so important ultimately to have a workout, a routine that you do on a daily basis that can cultivate a transformation in your mind and your body so you can create the life you want, so you can overcome things in your life. That's the purpose of this video, guys. So let's go ahead and start off. How do we go ahead and take control over our life? The way we do that is through the mind and the body. On the level of the body, we need to go ahead and feel good. We need to feel confident. We need to feel at ease. And in the level of our mind, we need to have the confidence as well. We need to have the clarity. We need to know what it is that we want to do. We need to be able to focus. That's like just the most foundational thing. If your body was uncomfortable, if your body is discomforting, if your body's in pain, if your body is sick, you can't get your things done. If your mind is scattered and you can't focus, if your mind is stressed out and you got all this pressure, you can't get things done. So that's the foundation. All right. So now let's talk about what we need to do in order to go ahead and get our body to go and feel good, to feel at ease, to feel energized, so we can feel confident, and for our mind to be able to focus on the things that we want. And when we look at things, that we have a positive mindset about it, a positive perspective on it. So what do we need to do to create that? The common approach that people have for these two areas, mind and body, on the level of the mind, people look for personal development. They look for books. They look for talks. They look for lectures. They look for ways to go ahead and see things in a new perspective. That's the common way of doing it. The issue with this is that our feelings affects our mind. When we feel a certain way, we have a certain thought. When we have a certain emotion in our body, we get a certain perspective. Just like if we feel angry, our perspective shifts. That is why the approach of transforming our mind through the methods I talked about doesn't work really well. It's not as effective. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just that's not as effective because we're not cultivating the second part here, which is changing the feeling. Now, when someone goes into the body, how do they make themselves feel better, feel more confident? They work out. They get into some type of physical routine to get themselves feel better. That helps them to feel better because they get more energy. But it doesn't allow the body to change its default state of feeling. The default state of feeling basically means the way that we feel regularly, our natural state. When we exercise and work out, we feel good, and then afterwards we go back to a normal state. It's like we come up and then we come back down. Because the workouts that most people are doing are not changing a default state. They're not changing the foundation of the way somebody feels. It gives them a high and then comes back down. And then they get their workout again and then it comes back down. In order to change the foundation of the way we feel inside, we need to go inside and change the feeling. That feeling on the inside of us, not the way our muscles feel, but deeper inside of our body. What's in there is emotions. The emotions that we have are inside of our body. And that is the default foundation inside. So if we want to change the way we feel, we got to change it on the level of the emotion. So when we're doing workouts and we're doing all of this stuff, we're not changing at the level of the emotion. We're changing it on the physical level. That is why the feeling is temporary. That's why we go up and we feel good and then we come back down. So if we want to go ahead and change it on the level of emotion, we got to go deeper in our workouts. We got to feel deeper in our workouts. On our mind, we can't just go and read books and listen to lectures and try to change our perspective, try to change our thoughts. just by doing that, because the way we feel is affecting the way we think, and we have to change it on the way we feel. We have to change it on the level of body as well as the mind. That's why just doing mind alone doesn't transform our mind. And the reason why it can transform our mind is because what I said earlier, we need to have focus to go after what we want. We need to have clarity to go after what we want. We need to have that self-belief, the belief about ourselves and about what we are capable of. In order to transform those, we need to go ahead and have a new belief system. And to do that, we got to change the feeling in the body. We can't do it without changing the feeling. So now let's go into the body, changing the feeling. If we just do workouts, that's not enough because that's only on the surface. We got to go deeper. So this way we can change the foundational level, the feeling in the body. Okay, changing that foundational level is the emotions. All right, so now let's go into the next thing, which is how do we go ahead and now change at the level of emotions in the body, so this way we can transform the thoughts. This is how you do it. Feel. We got to feel inside the body so we can go deep enough. We got to go feel beyond the contractions of our muscles when we exercise, beyond just the tension when we are stretching. We got to go deeper. And as we go deeper, we start to connect to the emotions that are inside the body. When we connect to the emotions inside the body, that is the foundation in which the body is feeling on a regular basis. When we connect to that, we can now release whatever is there. And as it releases, the way we change on a foundational level changes. So when we do that, simultaneously with the level of thoughts, simultaneously as we are changing thoughts, that is how we create the transformation. If we do it one independently and then we do the other one independently, it's not as effective. Because when the body is changing in the way it feels, when it's releasing, the mind is shifting at the same time. It's not that one's just happening and nothing is happening on the other. They're both changing at the same time. And so when we are releasing in the body, we're diving in there, we're feeling this, we need to notice what's happening here in the mind, because the mind is shifting at the exact same time. And if we only do this and we're not paying attention to this, then all the changes that are happening here, we can't capture it. We can't recognize it. We can't be aware of this because it's just, we're not even aware of it. It's just doing it, but because we're not aware of it, we can't make the change. We can't see what we need to do. So as we are changing it here in the body and feeling in the body, we are changing on a level of mind by finding out what is the beliefs that I have, what are the judgments that I have, what are the stories that I have that has been keeping me trapped. And so these both are being undone simultaneously. This approach here is what allows transformation, real transformation to occur. Without doing this approach, and we're just doing a little bit of body here, we're doing some mind here, then we do body here, we do mind here, the results will always be temporary. You will find yourself having to constantly spend time in personal development, constantly. But why would you constantly have to spend time developing yourself? There's got to be something that's wrong with what you're doing. That's like a person who's wanting to learn how to exercise, and they're constantly learning new ways to exercise. But if nothing is wrong with what you're doing, why would you go and constantly learn new things? If it's not broken, don't fix it. It's like if you have a business and your business is doing really, really well and you're constantly looking for another way to run business. For all you business people watching this, why would you do that? Why would you not just continue to do what is working at this moment, right? You wouldn't go and change your operation. You wouldn't find a person who's doing really well and go, okay, I'm gonna look for another person who could do well. No, you stick with this person and you make sure everything's going well and you grow with this one. You don't just constantly change. So people are constantly looking for new ways to develop themselves because what they're doing right now is not working. And this is because they haven't captured this approach to how we transform the body and mind. So when we do this approach and we are diving into the body and changing the way we feel, part of the effects is we gain strength, is we gain flexibility, is we gain endurance, cardiovascular. All of these things are the effects of when we dive into the body and we start to change that feeling, the default state of feeling. We bring everything to harmony. And the level of the mind, when we are changing these beliefs, when we start to release all the stuff that doesn't belong in there because we're undoing it at the level of the body and we're doing it at the level of mind together, automatically our mind becomes sharper. Automatically we become more focused. We gain the ability to focus because we're clearing the stuff that doesn't belong in there anymore. Now we can transform our life. Because transforming our life involves having our mind to be clear, have our mind to be focused, having self-confidence and belief that we got what it takes right now. And those negative thoughts about the past and all this stuff, all that stuff we have released. We release those things because down here, those emotions that connects with those thoughts, those emotions, we released it as well. So now they're gone. So that's why we don't have those things anymore. And now with the right mind and with the body feeling strong, feeling calm, right? Not being all over the place, but feeling really calm, feeling strong, feeling confident. Those two combinations allow you to go and do whatever it is that you want to accomplish in your life. This is the foundation. This is the foundation for creating the life that you want. But it starts off with understanding how this works. So we stop wasting time constantly doing personal development, and constantly working out only to look better, but not to go ahead and actually improve the rest of our life. Looking is just one aspect of our body. We need to feel better. We need to be healthier. We need to be able to be emotionally balanced. None of those things are being cultivated with just doing normal workouts. It involves having to change the workouts so we can penetrate deeper into our body and get the best of all of these benefits and not just one. So if this resonates with you, go to flow60.com. I share how this works, deeper layers of it. I'm running a program right now where I'm taking people in and we go through 60 days, hardcore workshop. We're doing lives throughout the entire week. And we are covering all of these things step by step to take somebody from the beginning, wherever they're at, all the way to understand this process and creating that change in their body, in their mind. So go to flow60.com and I'll see you guys there.